for the first time in my channel is Grammar Time, and it's all about idioms or idiomatic expressions for Christmas. I'm aware that a lot of non-native speakers are struggling a lot with the idioms. We have to get to terms that native speakers use very often idioms. Let's focus on the bright side. Fortunately, nowadays, we have a lot of opportunities to get exposed to idioms in movies, sitcom, TV series, or maybe radio programs. To be honest with you, if we speak in English with confidence, clarity, and fluency, we can avoid using them, and anybody would be able to understand what we are talking about. But on the other side, when you are learning a new language, you want to use every tool that is going to be able to create the conditions to express your full potential. Becoming familiar with idioms is going to be very helpful in terms of sounding more spontaneous and natural while we are having any kind of conversations in any environment. And there's a question that always got my attention. And it's about a main difference between idiom on one side and another key element of the English language on the other side. But I'm going to tell you about it later. Now let's go back to the main topic, idiomatic expressions. Why native speakers are struggling so much with idioms? I was thinking about it a lot. I was trying to figure it out a way to overcome this problem. I think the main issue is that not only it's not easy to understand the meaning, but also we forgot them very easily. That is a picture of myself when one day I forgot an idiom during an English conversation. Let's take a look at it. After a while, I came up with these 3 tips. Tips number 1, start to use idioms that are similar in your native language. Or an alternative could be, start using idioms that you have been listening to for a while now because of TV series or movies. That way, there's going to be a higher probability that they could stick in your long-term memory. Tips number 2, try to grab any opportunity to get exposed to idioms in any kind of English conversation groups, or if you have your own community, if you are speaking to yourself in front of a mirror, or if you are preparing a video that you want to share in your community. The most you practice, the better will be in terms of becoming familiar with them. Tips number 3. Listen very carefully in any kind of context or environment. If you are surrounded by native speakers, there's going to be always a huge chance to learn something. Even though you are not actively engaged in the conversation, it doesn't matter. The fact that you are exposed to an idiomatic expressions is relevant to your ongoing process. As I mentioned earlier, it's Christmas time. I choose just 3 idioms for Christmas. Let's practice them immediately. The first one is Christmas came early this year. This happens when you receive an unexpected gift or something that it was really a surprise. I was thrilled to receive a promotion at work. It felt like Christmas came early this year. When I found out about the surprise party, I thought, Christmas came early this year. Receiving an unexpected good news was like Christmas coming early this year. The second one is good things come in small packages. It means that we don't have to judge something from its own sides. And sometimes smaller things could be of higher value. Don't underestimate the impact of small acts of kindness, because after all, good things come in small packages. The tiny gift held a huge surprise inside, proving once again that good things come in small packages. The old-fashioned little cafe may not look like much, but their food is a testament to the fact that good things come in small packages. And try to do something different with the last one, because one of my purpose is to make grammar very, very meaningful but enjoyable at the same time. Let's play with our tone of voice. Christmas comes but once a year, so it means that we have to try to make the most of it, because Christmas, of course, comes once a year, and we have to try like overeating or overspending time in doing something because we have only this chance. Let's express with the first sentence a very friendly voice. As the holiday season approaches, I remind myself that Christmas comes but once a year, so I should make the most of it. Let's try to be very angry. It's a tradition to go all out with decorations because, after all, Christmas comes but once a year. And now let's try to be a little bit scary. I look forward to indulging in festive treats because, as they say, Christmas comes but once a year. As I just showed you in this example of the third idiom for Christmas, it's possible to have fun while you're practicing grammar. One of the main aim of my channel is going to be to try to demonstrate to you that this is possible. And today was the first step. So my insight for today is if you're struggling with a specific grammar structure in your daily English conversation, try to take a note and pick up this grammar structure that you're struggling with, use it intentionally, but try to find a way to make it very enjoyable. You can play around your voice like I did in this video. And if you're not sure about how to express some kind of emotions, you can watch some videos on YouTube, because there are a lot of native teachers that can help you to understand how to manage your voice, how to use your voice, how to become familiar with intonation. It's time for the bonus. In my personal language learning journey, I had the privilege to get in touch with a lot of non-native speakers. In our English conversations, what came up very often was what's the main difference between idioms and slangs? Idioms arise mostly from metaphors. A metaphor is a figure of speech that describes an object or action, but isn't literally true. But we can use them to explain an idea or to make a comparison. It's not possible to guess the meaning of an idiom from a group of words or individual words. We have a lot of resources online and offline that can help us to understand the meaning of an idiom. The next step is to use it intentionally, constantly, and regularly. Only practice would help you to become familiar with that idiom or that specific idiomatic expressions that in the long term is going to become part of your communication skills. On the other hand, slangs, consisting of words and phrases that we use in informal conversation rather than in writing. In our societies, they've been used mostly by small groups of people, and they do that in order to establish group identity. Another main difference is that idioms are going to be part of the generations to come, and instead of that, slangs are not going to last in the long period of time. They're going to go out of use over time. Let's summarize what we have been trying to overcome today. We know that a lot of non-native speakers are struggling with idioms. It's not easy to remember them. So I shared my 3 tips to try to overcome this problem. Tips number 1, start using the idioms that are similar or the same in your native language. Or an alternative could be use the idioms that you have been listening many times in movies, sitcom, or radio programs because you're quite familiar with them. In the long run, they are going to stick in your long-term memory. Tips number 2. When you're surrounded by native speakers, grab any opportunity to use your active listening skills. You can learn a lot from native speakers, especially how to use an idiom in a real context. Tips number 3, use idiom intentionally, consistently in your daily English conversations. You're going to develop this habit and you'll be able to integrate them in your speaking skills. I'm happy because this was my first video about grammar, and I hope that in a way you find it helpful and useful to your learning process. Remember to subscribe to my channel because you can get the latest updates, and on the other hand, there's going to be more videos to come about grammar and many other topics. Now you can watch 2 videos that in a way are related to grammar. One is about how to get rid of your old habits and step outside of your comfort zone. The other one is how to go through your breakthrough in the English language. Merry Christmas to everyone, and see you soon in another video next week. Bye.